It's Good Friday. Welcome to Your View. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown, as always. I have the ladies. Hello. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday.
Hi, Dame Mariam.
I'm fine, thank you. For me, since this lockdown, time has just been, doesn't exist. So I don't know when it's Friday or Thursday or when we're supposed to, prepare for a particular thing. So it sort of caught me unawares. Oh, today's Good Friday.
I know, so I'm losing track of time too. Hi, Dintakwe.
I'm very good. This morning, I was just saying that usually you say, thank God it's Friday. People will be looking for how to go and hang out or where they will be partying or stuff. I said, nobody is staying, no TGIF anymore. We're officially on lockdown, but a few things are still happening. One, Lassa is still killing people. 190-something cases, deaths have been recorded so far, even in the midst of COVID-19. There was another report that says that while COVID has killed 6 people, 13 people have died in the course of enforcing lockdown. The numbers can be disputed, cutting across the nation. So why will we be losing lives in the name of protecting and continuing the lockdown? And so those were a few things that has happened, and I just feel like we must keep on talking about this in the media. We must keep on highlighting the challenges going on. We can't lock down and be killing lives, and Lassa is also there, still killing people.
Right. So Lassa fever.
Lassa fever is still killing people right now. So the funds going to research on COVID-19, a little of it can go into helping to prevent deaths from Lassa. Right now, Lassa fever is still killing people in Nigeria. So let's just talk on that.
Anyways, any plans for the weekend, though?
We're not doing. I'm sitting down at home.
Yeah, I'll just home.
I'm sitting at home.
How about you? Any special plans for today?
My husband's grandmother stays with us, Momo. So she gave me 1,000 naira today to buy her a soft drink, malt. There's a particular brand of malt that she likes. So I told her to take the money back, but no, she forced the money. No, take it. I'm going to buy that. It's Good Friday. Let us, celebrate today. So I'm going to try and see if I can buy a pack of that malt drink. She has a specific brand she likes. And it was just good. And she's making her hair. She's over 90. She's like at least 94.
At that age. Anything they want. If they say they want to eat pork, please go and find the pork. If they say they want to eat pigeon, go and find pigeon.
She's doing her hair. She loosened her hair this morning. She wants to do the Easter hair. I'm thinking, so we're going to just all put hands together.
I want to buy that malt for her. Let me just tap into this good health at old age.
So she's getting dressed today. She says she wants to dress up, look this. So I'm going to take a picture of her when she's done and post it. But it's Easter Friday, and we have an amazing guest who's going to be joining us on the phone. But first, let us go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to start with the Punch. Buhari task force meets today over nationwide lockdown. Picture here of men in Lagos State Rapid Response Squad during the enforcement of the stay-at-home order. Kwara imposes total lockdown to stop COVID-19 spread. 202 Lagosians lockdown violators arraigned, and 189 were actually convicted. 15,000 Osun residents to get federal government's 20,000 naira each, says Oyetola. Buhari grants posthumous pardon to Ambrose Ali, Enahoro, and others. Government not transparent about relief material, says CAN. Health education, Niger Delta suffered 221 billion naira budget cut. And 170 countries to experience negative income growth, says IMF. Okay, so let's start with the Lagosian. The posthumous. Yes, go ahead.
So the president has granted a presidential posthumous pardon to former governor of Old Bendel State, Professor Ambrose Ali, and also the former nationalist chief Anthony Enahoro. And this was said at a conference at the Nigeria Correctional Services headquarters in Abuja by the Minister of Interior, that's Rauf Aregbesola, and also about 26,000 inmates also.
2,600.
Oh, sorry, 2,600 inmates were let go because, they're trying to decongest the prisons because of the coronavirus, just so that we can, stop the spread of this virus.
In addition to that, the criteria used, part of some of which is those that are over 60 years old, those that their bail was, I think, below 50,000 naira, those that are that they have less than, I think, 6 months to their end of their tenure, those that have underlying medical issues. Those are people that might actually contact the virus. So they're the ones. That was the criteria that was used to select the 2,600. It wasn't just like they just released prisoners to the public.
So 202 Lagosians were arrested yesterday, enforcing the lockdown. Specifically, these people were exercising, jogging, and were playing football and doing like a group fitness with an instructor. Of the 220 of them that were arrested, some pled guilty and some pled that they were not guilty. And the statement was that some of them said they were not guilty in that they were observing social distancing while they were exercising. And so not all of them got convicted. Those that got convicted were 189 of the 202 that were arrested. Right. The convicted one were asked to pay fines between 5,000 to 10,000 naira, and they were also asked to do community service if they couldn't pay the fine. But about 60 juveniles were arrested. And so the 60 juveniles that were arrested were said because of their age, they were not allowed to pay, they couldn't pay the fine. They were told to do community service, cleaning and all of that. So the PPRO of police, for Lagos State, said that these people were found contravening the law for stay at home, which is 1, you have to observe social distancing, and 2, you also shouldn't. So they were arresting footballs and all of that. Those are the issues they had.
I think we probably need more clarity because lots of people are actually exercising at this time. There are lots of people who are using the advantage to have this group aerobics activities. So we need some clarity from the government that is it okay to exercise, and if we're going to exercise, how do we exercise such that we don't violate the regulation? Sure. Moving on to The Nation, 1,000 Nigerians apply to return from the U.S. Chinese medics under watch, says Bajabia Miller. He's not leaving that story. Lagos government to reorder 2020 budget. SIP got 619 billion naira, says presidency. And President pardons Enahoro and Brosali. Senate President and Speaker of the National Assembly are on this case of the Chinese medics that came in from China the other day. And they're insisting that they want to monitor to ensure that they actually go under watch for the 14 days before they begin to help support our laboratories and other things they're here for. Okay, the other story of the Lagos reordering the budget, who has that?
Yes, so I have the story. So the Lagos State is considering revisiting the budget. That's for now, the budget is 1.117 trillion naira for 2020. That's what they are trying to review it towards because of the challenges that COVID-19 has brought up and the economic issues that are ongoing. They are reviewing it. So they haven't gotten, they're going to review it. That's what they're discussing. So that's just it.
Okay, for the major headline, we have 1,000 Nigerians that want to apply. From not just from China, US, UK, and all that. European About countries. 200 are coming in from the US. And as Abike Dabiri had said on our show the other day, that there's a criteria for you to come. You have to agree to take a test in your host country first, after which you come into the country and you'll be subjected to another 14 days quarantine before you're now reconciled. We can now go to your family. Yeah. But
let me just add to that. I think there's another story in one of the papers where it says the federal government is saying, and this was said through the representative of the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Oyema, that all those who are abroad should please just stay there for now, that there's a higher risk of people traveling from one end to the other during this period. But that for those who, of course, who are stranded and maybe for emergency reasons, Nigeria is in talks with the host countries. And
so it's advisable you stay where you are.
But you get more details to what Lagos State is doing. So because they know that many people will be losing their jobs, the changes would be not mainly with the figure, but to reassign amounts and budgets to areas that will stimulate quick employment for people post-COVID and also create a buffer for medical services that are already under pressure right now. So that's good.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. COVID-19, our challenges treating patients, says health workers. Oyo Monarchs residents protest FG's cash transfers. Disinfectant safety tunnel. The Senate's COVID-19 tunnel. Interesting. Yeah. Lockdown, 232 arraigned in Lagos and Delta. World Bank forecasts recession for sub-Saharan Africa in 2020. COVID-19 may spread further. Federal government warns. Caverton, Labour threatens to cut power, fuel supply to rivers. Wow. Okay, there's the
but I took the major headline, which is in Lagos here, the medical doctors, nurses, laboratory scientists, and all allied health workers. They're talking about the shortage of supplies and equipment in fighting COVID-19. All of them have been asked, in all the hospitals have been asked to, attend to patients who are representing the symptoms and they have the COVID-19. But they're saying that they do not have the protective equipment. That's the gear. Masks and gloves are like luxuries, So everywhere, and I think they said all of the 27 general hospitals in Lagos, apart from Lagos Island Maternity Hospital, they have the shortages of the PPEs, masks, gloves, and other hospital supplies, which is really, really a sad situation.
Really sad. And yet, money has been disbursed officially right now, and people are complaining, or people in Oyo are complaining concerning the funds. The CAN is also complaining concerning how these funds are being disbursed. For the CAN segment, the president of Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Samson Ayokunle, in his Easter message titled "We Shall Have Victory at Last," said that the disbursement of these funds might not, that they know the disbursement might not get to every poor person in the country, but there should be transparency in the disbursement of the fund, and that they feel like there are some people still, there's corruption in the process of disbursing the funds. And I think that should, everybody speaking that same line.
I was going to take the picture story in Vanguard because the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonoya Onu, amongst others, were in receipt of what you call a Naseni disinfected safety tunnel. Now, I've seen videos of this tunnel in maybe United Arab Emirates where they're having to get into the mall, to get into different places. And here's in Abuja. I'm not sure what the plan is. Is it to get this in front at every single mall in the country? Or what's the plan? They're in receipt of one tunnel, but what plans do they have to ensure to use it?
For me, I like the idea of the innovation. I know that this innovation can be carried out by Nigerians. This tunnel can be produced by Nigerians. We have the scientists and we have the knowledge and the know-how.
We have the technology.
If we are the ones producing it, I'm sure if we dig deep, this is a time for us to come up with our own innovative solution to domestic problems.
My point is that why we buy a one-off? What do we need a one-off equipment for? And what's the plan to roll out? So I don't get it. But we'll get more information. It's just on the front pages. Yeah. Hopefully in the coming days we'll have an understanding. Maybe they're going to be start showing that before you get into any major parastatal, you have to go through that tunnel. We don't know, but we'll see. Moving on to Daily Trust. Consumers demand clarity on modalities. That's for the free electricity that the federal government is offering. Let's find another story we've not taken here. 5 killed, 4 injured in Kano auto crash. World Bank forecasts depression for Africa. Back to sender. COVID-19 remained there for now, FG tells Nigerians abroad. And donations for COVID-19 on coordinator, says Senate President. I'd like to take the World Bank forecast because, I was pretty worried. And I think I have that article here somewhere. What the World Bank is saying that the COVID-19 pandemic is testing the limits of societies and economies across the world, and African countries are likely to be hit particularly hard. And they're saying that, according to the latest Africa Pulse, the World Bank's twice-yearly economic update says that the sluggish growth rate in Africa will make them susceptible to this huge hit for the pandemic.
While I appreciate the efforts from the World Bank and all this analysis, they should just leave Africa out of it. Because every time at least I watch the international news, they'll be like, oh, the numbers are going to increase in Africa soon. Numbers are going to increase. I'm like, stop it.
It has not increased.
It has not increased and it will not increase.
All their projections
is that it will go worse. Africa will be worse hit.
Okay.
Will be worse hit by this.
We can look at it that way, or we can look at it as a way to make sure that we're putting the proper plans.
And we are.
Yes.
It seems like we are.
And we are. Because like it or not, the government in all these countries are doing the best they can.
I remember that they said from our first index case to a month after. Yeah, I remember very clearly. They were comparing us to Italy, Spain.
Not
predicting. We return it back to sender. And we've done over a month.
And we're doing well.
And by God's grace and mercy, we shall be on that line. So please.
Our spirituality is obviously working for us.
Yes, it's working for us. So all your negative prophecy, back to sender.
Prophecy,
Daily Sun. Coronavirus grace Buhari pardons and Nahoro Ali grants amnesty to 2,600. Obasanjo Okonjo-Iweala $644 billion debt relief for Africa. And let's find story we've not taken at all. Nigerians, other Africans in China forcefully evicted from homes and hotels. we have to run off, but that's a really big story. I really wish you could take that story because
there was one story we didn't take, which is very important. Some of the states are relaxing their lockdown guidelines, and it is dangerous. So I wish we were able to take that.
Unfortunately, we ran out of time. That's all we can take. We're going to break now. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, weight loss is in the minds of many people, especially because we are all home. We are eating. In fact, me, I'm having issues with my clothes now. I can't fit into some of my clothes. It's crazy. With excess snacking from boredom, not being able to go out, now that they are arresting people, because we were exercising before. But now they're arresting people, and I know a few people that were arrested even this morning. But most people are beginning to add lots of weight in this lockdown. We're asking our viewers, what measures are you putting in place to maintain healthy family eating and at least healthy lifestyle during this period? Please call us on 070-80668014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. We'd like to hear your own experience in your homes. I know you always jog every morning. And now that they're arresting people, I hope I hope you are safe.
No, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not safe. I've always been a proponent of laws should have human face, and we shouldn't be wicked to one another in the name of enforcing laws. I also strongly believe that we must domesticate everything that we're implementing in our country. So you cannot have a law that is not conducive for your citizens and you are forcing them. That's not what democracy is about. We're supposed to be sensitive to what our people are going through and finding a way to solve our people's problems. So the case in hand is that...
For example, let me help that argument, because what you're saying, what I'm hearing you saying, that we have a household, for example, of a house of maybe 20 people. Let's just say 15 people, and it means tenants and everybody.
No, and because you have a house of 10.
Yeah, I have a house of 10
So if your entire house comes out and say, I want to take a stroll.
And exercise.
And your entire house goes on a stroll,
I'm likely to
you get arrested for social distancing. When everybody on that stroll live in your house, already live together, what is the human face? And then you are in that position trying to explain to the police officer that everybody in this place, we are living in one house. And the person says, I'm not listening to you. The order is, the order is, the order is. That is the issue I have with the current policy in implementation of this thing.
But we're talking about putting on weight, so...
No, it's both. It's both.
Okay.
Because one of the ways it's connected,
It's
connected, Mariam, because the idea is that we are home.
Okay.
What do you do? Yes, we're online. The internet is extremely slow because everybody's online at the same time. Sometimes you get frustrated. Then you watch TV. Some people don't have cable. They have to watch the news, and they don't want to have too much news of COVID-19. Yes. So they turn off the TV. They find activities in the house. After a while, you take one snack, you sleep. You take lunch, you sleep. You take another snack, you sleep. And family's like, you know what, let's go out for a stroll. And you go out for a stroll, and then the police arrest you. So and then at the same time, you're also thinking of how do I eat healthy and ensure that I'm burning what I'm eating. So it's all combined together.
Yeah.
So you can stick to the healthy eating part. That's the part
but we'll even talk about this, which is why are we asked to stay at home? What is the aim of the lockdown or social distancing? It's not because, we don't like your faces. We just want you to stay at home. It's because when you do come out, there's a risk of spreading this disease. So maybe if we, this virus, so maybe if we put that, the why are we at home? I mean, before it got to our country, I used to watch Instagram videos of the Chinese, all of them in lockdown in their small apartments. And in China, they seem to have really tiny apartments, and they would do all forms of exercises in their homes, all these TikTok videos to keep themselves engaged. And I think that's how Nigerians should look at it. The federal government does not hate you and wants you to stay at home, whether you like it or not. It's just trying to protect your health. And sometimes your health comes before your convenience.
Thank you very much, Mariam, because that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, we can all complain and say, why are they forcing us to stay? But we have to continually remember the why.
But you see,
and define it continuously.
So, but the challenge now comes into play in when there's a selective implementation of the laws. So now we have a lockdown, but in our lockdown, we've given room for essential services, including food, and all the medical personnel. But within that same climb, people, in the name of going for food, are actually going about their businesses in clusters. So I saw buses loaded with people in the same way they load pre-COVID-19. So when we, like I said, domesticating your laws. So when you make a law and say, I cannot exercise as an individual on the road, I, one person, not in a crowd, I get arrested. But a bus full to the brim of people gets to go free because they are going to sell food. What are we? What's the why?
Yeah.
What's the why?
Let me take this call from Emanuela. Good morning, Emanuela. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning, ma'am.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I would like to get a review on the topic of today's discussion.
Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Well, this is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Please, can I get a review on today's news?
Oh, okay. You are not watching the show.
Yeah, I just tuned in.
Okay, just all right.
Okay.
Okay, it's about 5 minutes delayed, so maybe
Yes.
she can't even get the
You,
topic.
you probably wouldn't know the topic
But
now.
let me ask you, what are you doing at home? Are you home now? Hello? Oh, we
I
lost
think
that
we
call. Right. Okay. So we're talking about exercising.
Exercising. So if we bring it back to eating healthy and all those stuff, yes. But you see, the majority of the Nigerians that we have on lockdown within Lagos, Ogun, and Abuja, the major number are not those that have so much to eat that they are now looking for how to burn
And
it.
even
the real challenge of some people that I've engaged with is that I'm so hot in the house. I can't sit down inside that heat. There's no light. I am tired of just watching my children and we're watching ourselves.
Right.
Let us go outside
do
and
something.
collect fresh air.
Interestingly, somebody, Princess, for example, or a few other people actually, have been serving food every single day since this started. I mean, I really commend her, Princess the comedian. She was here, and she cooks and serves. And I saw a video of somebody who served and then was arrested. The point is that because you've had a cluster of people coming together. So the point is that it goes back to the defining.
Yes.
Why are we defining? What exactly are we doing here? So we want to help people who actually are in need of help. At the same time, we're saying don't cluster. Now, the point is that can somebody give us some kind of a framework on how to go about, for example, in helping, if you want to serve,
And how can
maybe
we
there are,
come-
you line up maybe 5 feet away from each other, something. There's got to be some kind of framework we can give Nigerians.
So how can we call our overzealous law enforcement officers who know that this is obviously not a problem of social distancing? You know, when you see that kind of case, it's not an arrest that should take place. It should be a case of, let me educate you. God will bless the task force official in Abuja. Educate the people. Your job is not to enforce and punish people.
Talking about task force, I actually saw in my presence a task force officers. They were in a car like sardines, coming to looking around for churches to see which one who was actually holding the service. So I saw them in the car. They packed and they were sitting over each other, and they came down. And I was like, oh, God, well done. They could tell me, I said, we're looking out for churches, and I'm thinking in my mind, you guys
So you're probably the one that
at
has
a greater
more
risk
because you've packed yourself together and then you go into a space and probably if you have it, you're spreading it.
Going back to putting this is Africa. Put a lot of things, and as I say, I like this governor. Is it Cross River State? People were coming for him and making mockery of him, but he has said that in his own state too. There's nothing like lockdown. It's a mask, no movement. Everybody must go around with a mask because he feels that locking down for him is not realistic. That what's more important is that don't pass these things around. So go around with the mask, and that's what is made mandatory in his own state. For me, that sounds a bit more realistic for our own society. Because the truth is that imagine everybody in that car that are packed like sardines had on their masks. Maybe at least they won't pass anything to each other. I don't know.
So hey, Mariam.
No. I mean,
it's a suggestion. What I'm saying,
you know what? I like that part, which is if you're not properly kitted to be out in public, then do not be out in public. And that is good. And so also that when you do go out in public, give yourself social space. So it does not matter if you have your mask on and you're really on top of each other. It makes no sense. You're spreading it. So yes, it makes sense that we should think about the why, not just for the citizens, but also for the enforcers. Why are you made to enforce the social distancing? If you understand why you're doing it, you also make sure that you're protecting yourself. You would not be more than a few people in the car. And then when you do arrest people who are violating, you don't pack them up together.
Because they are clueless.
A lot of us do not understand the why, not just the citizens, even the enforcers themselves.
Exactly. Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there?
Good morning, all of you.
Thanks for calling. Good to have you on.
Good morning. Good morning. Please, Togbe, I'm one of the people that appreciate your comments. But you know, as a human being, you are bound to no problem about that. But you see, your comment about this lockdown, about arresting people on this exercise on the road and what have you, I don't think it's right. Number two, also, the other one you made was about Akindele. Akindele cannot come on set and be an ambassador and then be doing something contrary. And now she was convicted. What is your opinion now? That's one thing.
Mr. Hassan, before you go,
Finish.
how do you think we should implement...
Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm hearing you.
Okay, how do you think we should implement the lockdown for people that want to exercise? What do you think could have been done better?
How do what?
You say you disagree with what I said concerning arresting people that are exercising. How do you think it should have been done? What do you think could have been done better?
Let me tell you, you see this exercising you are seeing is a business. You might be doing your own.
Okay.
You might be doing your own personally.
Okay.
It's a business. It's somebody's business.
Okay.
You understand? And they make sure they do that business while the lockdown is going on.
Right.
Number two, you can exercise in your house. That's the essence of living in a very spacious place, whereby you can move around. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan.
Okay, let's make his point about space, because a lot of people will say, but I don't live in a big space. We have heard of inmates in isolation in that tiny cells who use their tiny cells to work out, and we are not in that kind of cell. So I think we can be creative in the ways that we move our bodies.
I have to go on a break, but I know that it's easier said than done.
I'm
when you have
telling
children
you.
bouncing off the walls, breaking tables, you want to take them out for a
But if
stroll.
it's your new life,
But
you will find a way around it.
Well, let's
so
we'll continue this conversation
Yes,
after this.
please,
Stay with us.
please.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, so we're still on what to do during lockdown. Some are exercising but getting arrested. Others are overeating and seeing what they can do to curtail that in their homes. Others are trying to save as much money as possible because you don't know what the economy is going to be afterwards. You don't know if you're going to lose your job. You don't know if your salaries are going to be slashed. Everybody's still waiting and just waiting until after COVID-19 to have a clue of what happens afterwards. But
quickly replying what Hassan
what
said.
Hassan was saying earlier.
Because legitimately, there are people out there who are fitness instructors who now, within this space, maybe through WhatsApp, gather people together to train them. That is a business activity that shouldn't take place within the lockdown. That is wrong. Obviously, when a police officer sees a crowd like that, they know that this is a crowd of people doing group exercises. It's different from when you see a Murayo and her husband and her children and a family. It's different. So it is about the enforcement. It's a lockdown. It's different from when you see me and my husband working together, no crowd around us, individually, and then you arrest us. Those are the challenges.
And you know someone that
happens
happens
is just common sense.
You know someone that happens.
You know they say we should not talk. Like
okay, that's true. Right. Okay.
they say we should not talk. So, but it happened.
Yeah, and it's true because every time I'm coming to work, I see lots of people exercising. You see a few people who have put some distance between them, but then you see after a while, when they are all tired, they sit in a particular corner and you know, they are resting together. So if, as you said, if the enforcers will come in and say, okay, I understand people need to work out and probably you don't have like a compound you can work out, no space. Make sure you give each other space. Exactly. I don't know if they have done that consistently and people have flouted that because it happens.
No okay, let me take this call from David in Abuja. David, are you there?
Hello, yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Please. Morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Mariah, Mariam, people are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I watch this program virtually every other day.
Thank you.
The lockdown thing indeed would have been, it's supposed to be the best solution for this. But unfortunately, it may not be feasible. It will not be feasible in the sense that the times are really difficult in Nigeria. A substantial percentage of Nigerian population, they live from hand to mouth. They work today. What they get today is what they will eat the following day. And unfortunately, the government is not really ready for this. Corruption is the order of the day. The palliatives that is meant to reach the poorest of the poor never gets to the poor, unfortunately. And that is why the lockdown thing may not be feasible, just like I said. But like I did this thing, it is also important for us to keep praying. We just have to look up to God to come out of this pandemic.
Thank you very much, David.
That's my view.
Thank you very much. We do need to pray this season.
So you see, I hear that argument a lot, which is the government is not ready for us to have a lockdown. There are no palliatives that are reaching the people. Yes, I get that. And so we have individuals coming out in one way or the other trying to help people. But that's not enough. It would have been much better if we had a government that was properly ready to put people in lockdown. But then I ask ourselves, which is then better? Should we then just, throw everything out and all be ill?
Right.
Or do we just,
because
help each other? Okay, I'm in a community, a group of us may be able to help each other in our community. Should we now do that? Nigerians, we've always depended on ourselves to do a lot of things. Government really just comes in once in a while. You do your water, you have boreholes already, you have your gens for your electricity already. So in this time, which is tough, I know how hard it is when you see other governments doing so much and then your government isn't doing anything. Let's just go back to that Nigerian spirit. The first thing is important. We're doing this for ourselves and for our children. We want us to be safe. Yeah. Can we do this ourselves? I'm not saying that is what's expected of us.
In addition to that, we need to remind Nigerians that, God forbid, we begin to have more numbers and we increase. I hope they remember that we don't have the medical facility to actually handle it.
You can't even go to hospitals.
You can't go to the hospitals because that's why they're creating isolation centers. But God forbid we start having those numbers. What then happens to us? It's inconvenient. We don't like it, but maybe those of us that want to exercise on the road, this is the time for us to say, stay in my house. Maybe buy a treadmill and stay in your house. I don't know. Or just jog on the spot in your house. But the point is that we have to, circumstances of this times is making us understand that we cannot gather like we'd like to.
But Mariah, some people will tell you for a fact that I would rather die than sit down in the house, and they go out. And in this same Lagos, people are telling, they will tell you that I have food stuff I need to go and sell in the market. They are going out because it's convenient. I can say that I can stock my fridge for the next few days and I can switch on generator and power everything. Some don't have that luxury. So when they now go out, you can't, like we're applauding other states, some state governors that have found a way to, within this crisis, find a way to domesticate the information. How do you get the market woman? Nima's made a suggestion that I think is very valid. What can we enforce? We can enforce that when you go to the market, don't gather in a crowd. We can enforce that every bus that carries passengers don't carry more than 2 on a bench, on a row. We are not enforcing those ones. We can enforce that when everybody selling essential things must have a bucket of water and soap and a tap that everybody washes their hand. We can enforce what you can enforce. Do not punish your citizens that are already suffering as it is. That's what we feel like is going on right now.
So imagine the local government ensure that all our markets have taps or have where you can wash. So those are little things we can do to ensure. All the bus stations have running water and where you can actually
before you enter into the bus.
So those are little things you can do
this information.
But coming back, bringing this conversation home, because those of us that are just spending, the other day, I wanted to buy fish. I really wanted to buy fish. I felt like, and I bought some nice fish. So I also bought vegetables, to cook vegetable soup. So I brought both home. And I told my helper, please let me put the fish in the freezer. We'll cook that one on Thursday. Let's do the vegetable today and all that. So I went upstairs to mind my business, my organ, and, chilling in the house and everything. 2, 3, 4 hours later, I came downstairs. I saw vegetable soup ready. Fish stew ready. By the time they dished it for an adult, vegetable with goat meat, everything. Then I put fish on the side. I say, you think you're in a hotel. This is Protea Hotel. In my house, in this COVID-19, Afara put that stew in the freezer. We're eating it on Thursday. We eat I was like, what is this? We think, what, do you understand what's going on out there? I mean, and I was thinking, so the thing is that what measures are we putting in place in our individual homes to ensure that we're managing, yes, it's there. We're not saying it's not there. The food is there, but we've got to manage because there are other people in your neighborhood that might need this food. I mean, I just ordered food from, I ordered rice from Nima, and I'm trying to distribute it in my neighborhood also. So we're trying as much as possible to help each other. Are we also paying attention to managing what we have? Because it is nice for us to think we have it. But the truth is, God forbid this thing happen. See, even Lagos State is trying to
everybody would
reallocate
have
their funds.
Income in April, because for most people are not going to work at the same capacity. Even those that are selling food are not selling as much as they would have normally. So there's less income throughout the month of April. And I think we need to work with that reality. So for those that have, you need to be aware. I am getting in my inbox every day people sending account details, and I'm saying, people, if I even want to help somebody, I have staff that I know I will not pay salary this month for. If I have anything to give out, I will give to my staff that I know need the money, and I can't pay the full salary to them. So at the end of the day, we need
you started calling salary too?
No, I can't. I'm not going to pay salary in April. I pay them per month. Yes, and I've not worked. It's already 10th of April. We have not worked. So Ewabella staff.
You can't find somewhere in the savings to give them.
There will be something, but we're not paying salaries. Yeah. We can't afford to.
So my brother-in-law lives in America. And he said to me that they've been on lockdown longer.
Somebody's been waiting for a while. I'm so sorry. Good morning. Are you there? I do apologize.
Yes. Good morning.
I'm so sorry, Taya. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Moriah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Actually, I've been trying for a while now.
Okay.
This is my very first time of calling in. Yeah, but it's not been funny. Come on, you guys. Can we have more than one line?
I know. We've been telling them for years. Hopefully, please say it again. Hopefully, they will hear.
Please, can we have more than one line, please?
I'm sorry about that.
Let's be able to call into different numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Another thing I need to say is, please, is there a place we can, or is there a number we can call to report some form of people? I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people saying you can call this number, you can call this number, but is there a particular number we can call on people that are violating these laws?
Okay, we should be able to get those numbers for you.
Okay, for instance, besides my house right now, I don't know if you can hear, there's a gathering, and it's like a church, this white Ghanaian church. These people don't even allow us to sleep. Come on.
Are you for real?
Even in lockdown.
I think Lasema is, I'll try to get you the numbers. Lasema, because Lasema is really, I mean, there are GM, Dolapo Fashawe, she's been going everywhere,
and
knocking down churches and mosques.
For the producers.
Yeah, so we get to, I think it's Lasepa, not Lasema, Lasepa. I always mix it up. Lasepa, the GM, Dolapo Fashawe, has been actually, so I'll get you her number actually. I'll get the producers to keep your number, and then you can also make a report to them officially. When you have those kind of situations in your neighborhood, you can actually, especially in Lagos State, I'm not sure the numbers across other states. If the state government can actually send us the numbers, so we can actually give our viewers.
And you can
our viewers are beyond Lagos State.
Tweet it as NCDC. Tweet it at Lagos State government. Tweet it at the police. Tweet it. Because there are people, a lot of our officials are now on Twitter, and they are responsive. So tweet it immediately and you'll get a response.
That's all we can take on this. When we come back, I think we'll be bringing our guests. We're celebrating birthdays. I have a birthday shout out to a very nice auntie of mine. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
For staying with us. So very soon we'll be having our guest on. We're trying to connect with him. But in the meantime, I must make a shout out to somebody who I know her. Today's her birthday. Mrs. Omotayo Adebola. She's also the wife of Engineer Daniel. Mrs. Tayo, today's her birthday, and they're having their wedding anniversary today. Happy birthday, Mrs. Adebola, and her husband. So it's their wedding anniversary today. So I'm saying that because our special guest also Today is his birthday. He's 60 today. And
Wow,
he's a
that's a
Nigerian
good man.
film actor, dramatist, producer, and director. He's an evangelist and founder and president of Mount Zion Drama Ministry and Mount Zion Television. Welcome with us, Pastor Mike Bamiloye. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning. God bless
Good
you.
to have you, sir. I'm told Monday is actually your birthday,
Yes.
but we are talking to you today. So today is Good Friday. How are you doing today, sir? What are
I'm
you?
very fine. Thank you very much.
What are your plans for today?
Good
Good Friday.
We are staying at home and praying and rejoicing and thanking the Lord. If it has been a normal day, it has been a great celebration today,
Right.
being Friday. But
Yes. Yes.
but we are keeping to the Lord. We are staying
So-
at home and we are praising God. And we are thanking Him.
Okay, before we
Yeah.
get into your birthday plans and celebration for Monday, we'd like to take you to your recent article where you said that this season of COVID-19 stay-at-home lockdown is a dress rehearsal to the real coming of the second coming. I'd like you to so help us understand better, because there's been an online war now going amongst pastors. People are saying, oh, it's 5G, is the indication to the end times. Others are saying COVID-19 is actually the Antichrist way of, all sorts of arguments going on out there. I'd like to hear your own views on this.
Actually, my view is very simple, and it's just that for every child of God presently, and according to the principles and the doctrine of the Lord Jesus Christ, we believe the Lord Jesus Christ is coming soon, very, very soon, and then that is in the rapture. So the belief is just that everything that is happening now is preparation towards the rapture of the saint. That is what I believe according to the scripture, and after that one, that there may be crisis, there may be problems, there may be negative situations and the pandemic. And so I said that what is happening presently is just for us to sit up and pray more and look up towards Christ and amend our life, because what is going to come after all this, when the Lord has taken his children home, is going to be more terrible than this one. So that's why I call it dress rehearsal.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Mariam.
So the government is having a hard time having people stay at home, because of the guideline, which is stay at home, don't go to churches. And I would like to hear from you. What do you think? What would you tell your congregation? What would you tell Christians now? Should they stay home, or should they still find their ways into church and just be in church? Maybe the second coming will come and take them straight from church. Who knows?
No. It's our responsibility to obey the government. A good Christian will obey the government. And when you look at the news all over the world, you discover that it is even more severe in some other nations, like Spain and Italy and UK. They don't want you outside at all. So if the Western nation, if the European nation, that the advanced countries are keeping to this, and as a way of curtailing the dreaded disease, we want to thank God that everything is still a bit normal here. We have not yet got discouraged so much, and so to curtail it, it is very, very advisable for us to do the simple thing. The simple thing is just to stay at home. Though it is very difficult, but we just have to do it, because that is what in normal countries, advanced nations are also doing.
Right.
So I will advise my people to stay at home too.
So based on bringing back to what you said, this is dress rehearsal. People are saying that this is rapture. As a Christian and a born-again Christian, this will not come close to you. So we have religious leaders also pushing the narrative that as a Christian, you can live your life anyhow you want to. The grace of God will protect you. People are praying and saying that the blood of Jesus is on their doorposts. Nothing will happen to their household. While as a Christian, I understand that, but I also do not want us to push the narrative that will make people get careless about protecting themselves. I know that you're a respected figure in Christendom, and I'd like you to put a message forward to people that have that mindset that this is rapture, I will go to heaven and I will be safe, or no, nothing will come to me because I am a child of God. What would you say to such people now?
No, this is not right. It is not rapture yet. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 15 says that the rapture that the believers in the Lord Jesus Christ will here, will go and meet here. So it has not happened yet. It is not yet rapture. So I would just say that they should obey the government because that law is to our advantage.
Right.
The instruction is to our advantage.
Pastor.
Our health.
Right. Pastor, people have said that church worship, going to mosque, would never remain the same again because times like this, people are now realizing that the church is the people, not so much the buildings. People are saying that it might be difficult for pastors or church members to start saying, let's have healing services or you must pay your tithe and offerings because people are now realizing that, okay, maybe the tithes and offerings should have been used to build hospitals or maybe we should have actually put more emphasis on house fellowshipping than even the big buildings. As a pastor, you own a huge ministry. How would you react to these lines of thought?
And actually, number one, I'm an evangelist. I do not have a congregation. I don't have a church building, but I worship also in a church. I have a That's number one. Number two, is just that we don't know how it's going to be after this event. But one thing is very certain, that people are more conscious of God now.
Yeah.
That is very certain. You see a lot of people, even on social media, holding house fellowship. So we believe that at the end of all this, there's going to be the love of men getting closer more to God. That consciousness of God. We are all praying, asking for mercy, for more protection. So I believe that at the end of all this, it may not reduce consecration, it may not reduce dedication, because it may increase awareness and consciousness of God. There are pictures of some countries whereby people praying and worshiping God in the middle of the road. People are crying and praying and asking God for mercy. Because we don't have the vaccination yet. We don't have the vaccine yet. We don't have the solution yet. And in some other countries, things are just getting more worse. But in our own case, we know this is the mercy of God. People will love God more, I believe.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Bandele ni, mo ní bandele o.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé máyà jáyàn ni bàbá?
Kí ló ń ja yín láyà? Ẹ̀yin ò ní Jésù ni.
Ó dáná. A ní Jésù o, kí ló dé fi pè mí?
Lórí. Orí kan ni wọ́n kọ́ mi lójú àlá. Mo sì mórí ọ̀hún lójú àlá. Mo ṣe ń jí bọ̀ báyìí. Mo kàn gbàgbé orin ọ̀hún ni. Mo gbìyànjú títí kí n lè rántí orin ọ̀hún. Mo rántí. Ni mo ṣe ní kí n pè ọ́. Pé bóyá ó bá mi rántí.
Ha! Bá mi.
Ẹ̀nà làwọn kọ yín lójú àlá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, wọ́n kọ́ mi lónà, mo kọ́ lójú àlá. Bá ṣe wá ń jí bọ̀ báyìí, làbá rántí orin mọ́.
Ẹ wá ń pè Bámidélé kó wá túmọ̀ ẹ̀ fún yín, kó wá kọ́ fún yín. Ṣé wọ́n jọ kọ́ yín lórí yẹn papọ̀ lójú àlá ni?
Òótọ́ sì ni, Ìyágbóyèga òótọ́ ni. Òótọ́ ló sọ. Èmi nìkan ni wọ́n kọ́ lórin lójú àlá. Ó dà. Ẹ máa lọ, àgbélébùú mi.
Thanks. That's evangelist Mike Bamiloye in action. Sir, are you still there?
I'm here. Thank you very much.
Good to have you back. Now,
Thank you.
yeah, go ahead, Tokwe.
Okay, so I am a huge fan. I grew up watching your movies, and I feel like you're one of the representatives of what ministry can be, which is where you have a gift and you use it for God. And I've seen you raising many people in the line of acting and receiving a living.
Thank you.
Pushing the gospel through movies. I'm very impressed and I want to celebrate you. You've done this for a long time and I feel like the entire country should be celebrating your work. But I want to ask a question concerning the movie industry and your own play. So you've been in this industry for 30 years. Would you say that you've been able to replicate Christian movies at a scale you would want to see? We know that when you started, the Nollywood was at a low level and they've been able to really, really mature so far. But we're not seeing that same maturity in Christian movies. What would you say is the problem, and how do you think we can help create a more robust platform for Christian movies to thrive?
Okay, I would just say that since we started, the Christian movie started in the country, there has been an improvement actually, though we are not yet where we are supposed to be, but there has been an improvement. For example, when we first started, we were not on television. We are not into many homes. But today, you could say that you have a lot of Christian movies on many television channels today. You go on YouTube and you see Christian movies covering a lot of platforms on the YouTube. People are getting more interested in watching Christian movies. There is a development, though there is still room for improvement, but there is more in development. It is spreading so far. For example, the Abejoye that you just showed now, the clips you just showed, is Abejoye 3. The Abejoye 3, we started the premiere on December 6th, and between December 6th and March 15th, it was premiered in 593 places in 15 countries. In 15 countries. The same thing Abejoye 2 was premiered in about 360 places. Abejoye 1 was premiered in about 360 places. There is improvement now. People are getting more aware of Christian movies. There is solution inside.
I'd like to ask you about the way in which you portray your message. A lot of people feel like your movies had traumatized them growing up, especially the Aya Matanga, the scary demons that show up, and they grew up with that trauma, thinking that they have these nightmares of what the devil is. And growing up as a Christian, a lot of people feel that maybe that wasn't the right approach. Maybe it should be more subtle in the way you convey the message of Christianity. Because people, I mean, today, like, we see other international producers produce Christian movies, but in a more subtle ways that people get the message. But your movies seem to be so hard, like a sledgehammer killing an ant. It comes across that way.
No, I'm not seeing it that way. Actually, the message that you are producing, everything is not about terror, it's not about horror. There are several other movies that are very, very interesting. Look at one that is going presently, that is on live presently. My mother-in-law is about homes, it's about marriage. Some of my life is about homes and marriage. Any of my stories about homes and marriage. And Apothecary was about children raising up children. So our movie is not all about terror, horror, people are scary. But at that time of Aya Matanga Barala, that was what was needed at that time.
Oh, really? I was traumatized. I mean, every little thing I saw in my house was a demon.
It was needed at that time because the Lord gave it to us, and there is need for attention. There's need for attention because before Aya Matanga, there were other television drama that was scary. Yes,
that was what was raining then.
There was need for another one.
Yes.
That was God.
Point taken. I get that.
God by force.
Right.
So when it comes to Christianity and evangelism and movies and entertainment, as regards how children receive it and young adults, I find like the Christianity struggles or competes a lot with secular music or secular entertainment. Secular entertainment seems to find a quick and easy way to reach young people and children. And I find that Christianity seems to be struggling to do that. Could it be in our content? Could it be in the way we say we teach it? And could there be something we can learn from the secular ministry on how to reach our children and young ones?
No, it is not a struggle. I don't see that as a struggle. There is a different approach. The secular movie production, secular music, they have their own approach. For example, in the secular world, they make music and movies to entertain the fans. In the Christian drama and Christian film production, though it must be entertaining also, but it must be inspiring. It must be spiritual. It must bring souls to the kingdom of God. So we may not be able to follow the approach of the secular one because it is a ministry. It is not industry per se. It is not searching for money per se. It's not looking for fans, but looking for souls. And therefore, the approach is spiritual. We look up to God. We seek God's face. So it's a different approach. The rules that govern them is not the rules that govern us.
Let me ask.
Yes.
Let me ask you concerning family, because growing up, we saw you as, an evangelist and strict Christian man with your wife too, no makeup, very tired hair, looking very, very. When I see your wife, I'm like, yes, this headmistress kind of person, But I'd like to hear your story as how you raised your children, because today many people are coming up with all these parenting techniques here and there, but you have grown children. They were born into Christianity and that whole that family of prayer and all that. So
and your child is
and your
already
children.
running
So
your
we
ministry.
we've seen the track record of you having children in ministry, and now today they are also
already in that
What did you do differently? Because what we are used to is pastors' children for pastors
run away.
They always run away. They always derail from the ministry. How did you get to your kids to do what you're doing?
I'll say it's just like the help of the Lord was number one. Is that my mom was a Christian, was very fervent, but I wasn't born so much like that into Christian homes. My upbringing was very bad because I live with different types of people. My mom died when I was very young, 4 years old, and my dad was away, far away in the north. So, but my elder sister, I was living with her, and she took me to various places because she too was growing at that time. So the beginning was so rough, and so I was introduced to different type of bad lives at the beginning from age 7, until I knew Jesus Christ at the age 15, and so that was when my experience with Christ began. But to now speak about how my family was raised, I've been in the ministry since when I was 25 years old, and that fear of God helped me to make the right choice of a woman. I got married in 1988, but it was by the help of the Holy Spirit that I was able to identify who my wife was supposed to be, and I was very lucky to get the right person, and that is my wife. And so with that help, I was able to raise my children. And so the children grew up in the ministry. Not only my children, biological children, even all of us in Mount Zion, we are 16. The families in Mount Zion are 8. All our children in the ministry grew up like that. It's not only my children that are writing into Christian movie production. There are some other children also in Mount Zion Faith Ministry that are producers and directors and director of photography, including the editor of Abejoye is also a child in Mount Zion.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So 60 years is a big number. And we hear people, like in their later years, they say that some things, when you're growing up, when you get to that age, there's some things you regret and things you're proud of and things you wish you could have done better. And they say to us that most times it's the things that you didn't do that you regret most. What would you say you wish you had done better? What would you say makes you the most proud at this age? And what is it that you regret?
I will not say I regret anything at all, because coming to Jesus Christ has made a serious difference in my ministry and my calling and my vision and perception and focus and future. But point number 2 is the greatest thing that I would say give me great joy at age 60 now is just that. A lot of people have entered into this type of ministry that I'm in. There is a product. I have products. There are children in ministry that are growing to love this work, that are doing this work, that we have trained in the Mount Zion Institute. More than 5,000 students have grown. Wow. And they are drama ministers making Christian movies everywhere. But the most important one are my personal biological children. I have 3 of them, Dami, Joshua, Dara. They are all in the ministry together with me. And the elder one is the one writing most of most scripts now. The younger one is the full editor and sound effects, making the music of the movie. That's J. Mikey.
That must make you proud.
It's making me happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy when I look at the results of this work. And many drama ministers that are rising up and doing the same work that have gone through our institute.
Right.
And then my children, it gives me great joy.
Fantastic. Okay, talk again.
I'm really, really happy for you. And I wanted to ask something. There are a sect of people that we haven't effectively captured when we produce content in Nigeria. Our young ones, our little children. We don't have enough Christian content for them. My children watch CBN. We have the Superbook and all those stuff. But what can we do? What would you see? What do you see Mount Zion doing to provide good content that would engage children from like 2 years old and sustain them, imputing the right values into them from that point? Because the Western world and their content is already giving them a perspective, and that paradigm is following. They are growing in that paradigm. So how do we produce Christian content that would engage and sustain the children as they grow?
Thank you very much. You are seriously right. You are right. And I would say, first of all, the next phase of Christian movie production in Nigeria is to go into the production of children movie. That is very, very necessary. That's the next phase, because we have been taking care of our youth, taking care of adults, taking care of married people, but we've not been able to take care of the children. We don't have content for them. And I think that's the next phase of Christian film production in Nigeria.
Before I let you go, sir, I have to ask you about your wife.
She's so beautiful.
First of all, your wife is very beautiful. I mean, we grew up watching her and just seeing her as that model of a Christian woman. Tell us a bit about her. You guys, I mean, what do you guys, I mean, you guys started this ministry together, obviously, but what do you do to have fun? You play, you travel together. What are the things she likes? What are her dislikes? What has she done in the house that makes you happy? Just tell us a bit about your wife before we run up.
Sure. My wife, I was a very fantastic partner. With her, I've been able to raise this work. I've been able to do this work together with her. And I married her in the ministry because I found her in the Riazza Hall, Drama Riazza. That's what I found her. And because she has a great vision for drama evangelism, she's a scriptwriter too. You know, she reads a lot of scripts. She has written a lot, including television series. I would say that apart from being busy with the ministry, she plays a great role in bringing up these children. I mean, my children. She gathers them every morning whenever I'm not at home. Even when I'm at home, they respect her because she's like a prophetess in my house.
Oh,
that's the great thing that I love about her.
So you guys look so perfect, as in. So let me ask you this nice question.
Is it that you never fight?
So there's no fight. You've never had alcohol in your life? You never drank before?
Alcohol?
Yes. Have you ever tasted alcohol?
Before I knew Jesus.
Before 15 years old, you used to drink?
Yeah, before I knew Jesus.
Nice.
I came to know Jesus at 16, but before then, I did so many horrible things.
Because you never tasted this side of the divide.
Hello?
No, we can hear you clearly. We can hear you clearly.
Yes. Right.
So you and your wife, you don't fight in the house, or it's just the Holy Spirit come and take over?
But we had arguments.
You have arguments?
Let God this way. No, I think it is this way. No, don't say the same this way. But I see the Lord is saying this way. So, and at the end, there is submission, either from our side or from my side.
Please define submission. I need you very quickly in 10 seconds. What is submission in your own Christian marriage?
Yeah, my submission in my own Christian marriage is having spiritual understanding of exactly what the Lord wants us to do. And the wife is a submission of the husband agreeing with what the wife says. The submission is on both sides.
You see. Please repeat that last sentence. Because many Nigerian men don't understand it. Submission is where?
Both sides.
Submission is on both sides.
Oh, thank you. God bless you. We love you. So we wish you many happy returns, sir. God bless you. Monday's your birthday. We'll try to remember to greet you again on Monday. And our regards to your wife, sir.
God bless you. Thank you.
Have a fabulous day. Thank you very much. So, and also I have to once more acknowledge my own auntie, Mrs. Tayo Adebola. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday. Many more years to you and your husband.
And happy wedding anniversary.
Thank you, Tokwe. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.